Be stronger than this. Use to pray with more fire. Believe with more certainty. Walk with more confidence. And somewhere along the way, something happened. A decision you made, a season that wore you down. A failure so significant that you are not even sure the person you were before it still exists. And now you are sitting in a place that feels like ruin. Can God still use someone who has fallen this far? If that question has been following you, this video is for you. Welcome back to Scripture Power Stories. Today we're talking about why God stripped Samson of everything before he used him one final time. To understand this, we have to go to Judges chapter 16. One of the most devastating and quietly redemptive stories in all of the Old Testament. Samson had a calling on his life before he was even born. An angel appeared to his mother. Her son would be set apart to God from birth, to deliver Israel from the Philistines. He was not just gifted, he was appointed. The power of God moved through him in extraordinary ways. Samson defeated enemies, broke ropes like thread, and accomplished things no ordinary man could do. The Spirit of the Lord came upon him at key moments, and the results were undeniable. But Samson had a weakness, and he never fully surrendered it to God. His weakness led him to a woman named Delilah. She was paid by the Philistines. She pressed him day after day until he was tired to death, and he told her. His strength was tied to his Nazirite vow. The outward sign was his uncut hair. If his head were shaved, his strength would leave him. While Samson slept, Delilah had someone shave his head. And when he woke up, verse 20 records one of the most heartbreaking lines in Scripture. He did not know that the Lord had left him. The Philistines seized him. They gouged out his eyes, bound him with bronze shackles, and put him to work grinding grain in a prison in Gaza. The man who was appointed to deliver Israel was now blind, bound and grinding grain in a dungeon. Everything was gone: his strength, his freedom, his sight, his dignity. And in the middle of that ruin, verse 22 quietly adds something that changes the entire ending of the story. But the hair on his head began to grow again after it had been shaved. God was not finished. The Philistines gathered in their great temple to celebrate their victory over Samson and to offer sacrifices to their god Dagon. They brought Samson out of the prison to perform for them. There were 3,000 men and women on the roof alone watching. And in verses 28 through 30, Samson prayed. It was not a polished prayer. It was not a prayer full of theological precision. It was the prayer of a broken man who had nothing left to offer except his final breath. Sovereign Lord, remember me. Please, God, strengthen me just one more time. One more time. And God answered. Samson pushed against the two central pillars of the temple, and the building collapsed on the rulers and all the people in it. Verse 30 tells us that those Samson killed at his death were more than those he had killed during his life. His greatest moment of impact came after his greatest moment of failure. After the blindness, after the prison, after everything had been stripped away. If this is speaking to something you have been carrying, comment the word strengthen below. Because the God who answered Samson in that prison is the same God who hears you right now. Here is the truth this story is trying to show you. God does not discard people who have fallen. He often does his deepest work in them there. Samson in the prison was not outside of God's reach. He was in the very place where his pride, his self-reliance, and his misuse of what God had given him were finally being burned away. The grinding grain in the dark was not punishment without purpose. It was preparation for a final act of surrender that Samson had never been able to reach when he still had everything. Sometimes God allows the stripping away of the very things we relied on most, not to destroy us, but to bring us to a place of genuine dependence that we could not find any other way. Samson's most powerful prayer was prayed when he had nothing left to prove and nothing left to lose. That kind of prayer God always answers. So let me give you 3 things to hold on to if you feel like your failures have permanently disqualified you from being used by God. First, notice what verse 22 says about the hair. But the hair on his head began to grow again. While Samson was in the prison, before he prayed, before any dramatic moment of restoration, something was quietly growing back. God was already at work in the middle of the ruin before Samson could see it. Whatever feels dead or gone in your life right now, ask God to show you what He may already be quietly restoring. Second, understand that your greatest impact may still be ahead of you. Judges chapter 16. Verse 30 tells us that those Samson killed at his death were more than those he killed during his life. His most significant moment of kingdom impact came after his most significant moment of personal failure. Do not let the enemy convince you that your story peaked before the fall. God is not finished writing it. Third, pray the honest prayer. Samson did not walk into that temple with a polished testimony. He prayed from an empty place. Remember me? Strengthen me just one more time. That is enough. God responds to honest, desperate, surrendered prayer. You do not have to have it together to call on Him. You just have to call. And if you've been in a season where your faith feels tired, discouraged, or emotionally heavy, I also created a resource called Still Standing on His Promises to help you stay grounded in God's truth during difficult seasons. The link is in the description. You may feel blind right now. You may feel bound. You may feel like the life you were called to is grinding away in a place no one can see. But the hair is growing back. God has not forgotten your name. He has not discarded your calling. And the prayer you pray from the emptiest place you have ever been may be the one that changes everything. One more time? Ask Him if this message helped you. Subscribe to Scripture Power Stories. We post new videos 3 times a week to help you grow in faith, find biblical truth, and keep walking with God through real-life struggles. Your story is not over. God is still working.